Blac Chyna is a new woman. She's getting rid of all her fillers and her butt shots. Today we have entertainment reporter and host of No Hipsters Pod, Ronse, to talk all about it. Let's get into the video. Blac Chyna she's getting her life back together, right? We know Chyna has made $240 million in OnlyFans in 2021. She's quit OnlyFans. She dropped OnlyFans. She's not doing it anymore. Now she's getting rid of, I think she's getting rid of her back shots, her booty shots.
And like I saw her fillers just the other day.
Getting rid of her fillers. Before we even talk about her mom, what are your thoughts on Blac Chyna, finding this new life now that she's made hundreds of millions of dollars from OnlyFans?
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Like, really, I'm not mad. And I really do think, and I think everyone should be free to do whatever they want with their bodies. But I think some of these things are actually bad long term, and a lot of people have these complications. So it's always good when I see someone just taking them out. Like she's gotten what she needed to get out of it. She's gotten the OnlyFans. She's it's fine. And I honestly probably think she would look better without it. So it's most of the time they look better without the shots. They look better without the fillers. So I'm happy that she's doing that. And also I think Blac Chyna.
I'm really happy for her. I'm really happy for her that she kind of, so the way that society say the Kardashians used black women as a stepping stone to their fame and clout and billions of dollars, this is exactly what Blac Chyna did to the Kardashians.
And I love it.
And I love it. And in addition to that, I love the fact that we look at the number one earners on OnlyFans, and they're black women with that body type. Now, you could say that Blac Chyna it's not natural, right? But at least it's a black woman highlighting a black woman's body and making the most money out of it. Because there's people like, what's her name? Bad Baby, Danielle Bregoli made $60 million from OnlyFans. There are all these people making crazy money from OnlyFans, appropriating or blackfishing. But here we have the real deal, and they're making way more money. Cardi B, Blac Chyna, they're making way more money. So these are things that for me, I'm just like, salute to you for being the queen of OnlyFans.
I know, but I'm like, this whole other, I guess this goes back to your point about not having to have a hit song and still be rich. I guess that's wow.
Oh, even T-Pain, I'll just give you an example. T-Pain is a Twitch streamer. And he said he's made more money from playing video games on Twitch than he's made in his whole music career. Like, it's a big deal because you're now the gatekeeper of your revenue stream, right? So these revenue streams, and when you have influence and clout, you get a big percentage. The only issue with Cardi B is that she does have a 360 deal, I believe, which means that she probably doesn't have 100% of her OnlyFans. So it depends on what her deal was with the label was.
We're still signing 360 deals.
I mean, she came in. I think she signed it like 10 years ago or something. But Blac Chyna is not a musician, so she's taking all that money. That's all hers.
Right.
So I don't know. I just love the fact that Blac Chyna, she took all that money. But I think it's interesting because she also said that OnlyFans is a dead end. And to me, it's now begging the question that, yeah, sure, you've made all this money. She has enough money to even make billions using the Kardashians as a stepping stone. Girl, salute to you. But what does this mean for other young ladies that see Blac Chyna? They're never going to make the kind of money Blac Chyna has made. They don't have the flame or clout. But now maybe they're getting 10 grand a month from OnlyFans. That, where do you go from there?
Listen.
Where do you go? How do you get another job? What do you do after that? You have to keep doing OnlyFans. What are your thoughts on that and what that means for other people?
I mean, I don't know how closely everyone is heeding Blac Chyna's word. I think some people are going to see that and just go for it anyways, even if they want it, whether or not Blac Chyna says it's a dead end. I think a lot of women were getting into it regardless of even before Blac Chyna. So I wouldn't put too much on that. But also to that point, $10,000 a month is more than most Americans make. And so if your alternative was to be working at McDonald's, and now you're making $10,000, doing a relatively small amount of work, staying at home. Like, I'm not. I honestly, I can't knock the hustle.
But here's the
And
thing, though: $10,000 is good money to make in real time. But let's remember there's a shelf life for this type of profession. Let's remember that there are a lot of people that, like, Black China basically is saying that it took her soul and she wants her soul back, right? So for these people, and I watched people break down this sort of like dynamic of you're literally giving your body to the internet and people are unsubscribing. That's not just them saying, that's something that you could take emotionally. Like, they unsubscribe to watch you give your body. I think that's something that's personal. And so I think, yeah, sure, it's good money to make in real time, but it's almost like you're stuck there, because unless you find a way to transition out of that and find, which is great, it's great startup capital, absolutely, to start something bigger if you want to be an entrepreneur. But for a lot of people, this literally will limit your ability to do a lot of things. So yeah.
I can't speak for every last individual and what led that, or what would lead them to that kind of decision. But I think most people who would start an OnlyFans probably don't have better options out there, right? Or
No.
maybe.
No. No, but go on.
So it's like, clearly, you don't have better options, and so who are we to say, oh, shelf, like, even if you just have 2 good years of making $100,000 or $200,000 versus whatever it is you would have been making, if anything at all. So these people have no jobs, or maybe the only job they can get is like something very, very low paying. And so yes,
But
this might
what is
be,
next is the question, and this is for anybody that, because I've watched a lot of confessions from OnlyFans
and
ex
and,
models saying, let me just
and
finish. I've watched a lot of stuff of them complaining about, wow, I wish I didn't do it, because, like, yeah, 2 years is, in this grand scheme of things, 2 years is not a long time. That's not a lot of money,
it's not.
right?
It's not.
So what's next? When you've seen Black China, you've been inspired, you've gone and done this, and literally it's different from stripping, because at least stripping, you're not even allowed to take pictures of strippers. That stuff is on the internet. People screenshot it, screen record it, blast it all over the place. What is next for you, really?
Like I was gonna say, I think we're getting to the weeds here and trying to like manage everyone's life. I will say, listen, people don't have, like, if people are finding a way to make decent amount of money to get a roof over their head, and this is how they're gonna do it. I can't knock it. Now, who are we to say what they? I think the smart ones will invest, or maybe the not so smart ones might blow it. Who knows? But ultimately, I'm saying this is a way for a lot of people to make money, a way that didn't exist until relatively recently. And so, what I think, it's left to everyone to decide what comes next. And I mean, and not every OnlyFans is completely explicit. Some people have it in a way that it's not as naked, if you will.
But you could
So,
you could always see, like, I guess the people in there, people who know them will know, oh, that's Jessica.
like I said,
That's Jessica.
like, back to my previous point, I think anyone who gets to that point where that seems like a viable option clearly is doesn't have a lot of options available to them. And I think, as and we are both of us are speaking as people who are privileged, and so I'm not going to say, oh yeah, like, what I mean, what comes up, like, people are trying to just, they're making the best with the hands that they were dealt.
I think you're
And
looking at one case study, and I'm going to insert a clip from a girl who had options but chose only the quick way. Right. So there are a lot of people that have options that they don't have to do that. It's a get rich quick for a lot of people, not everyone, obviously, but for some people, it's like, oh, I could get money quick. But for
right,
those people, of course, there are going to be so many different scenarios and so many different
right.
situations. But the question then is, like, is it really worth it? And do you look at, and also I can understand, like, when you look at China, who, after you've made $250 million that most people will never see in their lifetime, now you want to say it's a dead end, girl?
Exactly. And
Girl,
also,
stop.
I think the worth it question is highly subjective. What's worth it to you and I is not worth it to the next person, right?
Right.
So, like, to say, oh, is it worth it? I mean, like, I don't think anyone should be doing that kind of thing unless they're going to be making like millions, right? Now, but that's you and I. for people who maybe come from,
I would not do it for millions of dollars. There's no money that you can pay me to do OnlyFans. Like,
right, exactly.
It's not possible. It's not possible.
You're making my point for me. Like, of course, I'm saying, like, in my mind, I can justify someone doing it if it's going to give them millions of dollars. Now, if you're like, for some people, making like $80,000 a year is probably currently out of reach for them. Now, imagine that person. Imagine the reality. Imagine what life is, and now see how that decision doesn't seem like such a bad idea, even if it lasted for just 2 years, right? And so, of course, it could be. It's very short-sighted, but like we just have to understand that people's realities are so different, and when you're born into like poverty, for instance, it's hard to get out of it. So. I can't judge it too harshly, even though
fair enough. And you know what? Just to add to your point, there are people that have like multiple OnlyFans accounts. Each of their accounts has a niche that's that caters to one specific type of thing. So they're making money over money on their different accounts, which is so interesting.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, and you can't hide your face and all that stuff. But okay, but let's now talk about Blac Chyna's mom, right? Tokyo Toni. And she, I mean, she was, saying she wished she had an abortion. She was bashing Blac Chyna. What are your thoughts on Tokyo Toni and their relationship dynamic?
I don't know if it's been confirmed, but I'm pretty sure she has mental illness. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn. But whatever the case, she definitely talks like someone who is not all right in the head. Like there was a few weeks ago, she was on the internet crying that Illuminati, got her daughter or whatever, and like someone on Twitter was like, "Now what the hell? What use do they have for Blac Chyna?" And I was like, so it's like, I think she's out there, and
but to me it's interesting because if she's complaining that the Illuminati has her daughter, now her daughter is doing something that is perceived as healthy by the world, getting rid of her, butt shots, doing all this stuff. Why? So how does that correlate? It seems like she's liberated now, if anything.
But listen, I don't know them people. I don't know their family, but I will say this.
So to me, okay, go on.
I think maybe this is coming from the fact that Blac Chyna appears to have ended communication with her. And so that's probably why it feels like, oh, Illuminati has got my daughter, right? So not about whether or not she's going up to melt all the fillers out of her face. It's like, oh, I can't reach my daughter anymore. So Illuminati got, like, who really knows? And this is all me, like, this is
right, speculating. So
good.
So what I would say to that, and I think Tokyo Toni is going about this the wrong way. I know she probably wants access to that $240 million. And if she's watching, if Tokyo, you're watching, it would be better just not to speak about her. Like, I think this is her desperate attempt to get her attention, get access to some of that money. But girl, just make amends with her, be quiet, and she might throw you a bone, because this is not the way to go about it.
Right. But I mean, who really knows? But I think it's really sad to see, like, because at the end of the day, this is a mother and daughter, and so it's sad to see the worst of their relationship play out in public in this way. But hopefully they figure it out. Hopefully, I also just hope Tokyo Toni in particular gets whatever help she appears to need. I don't really know what's going on with her, but like it's a lot of like crying on the internet and just doing. And granted, she's had like a rough life herself, right? And so But yeah, hopefully they figure that out. And I don't know what's going on for sure, but hopefully they figure it out.
All right. I hope you like that. Please leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. And check out my new app, Ray the AI, your on-the-go writing assistant powered by ChatGPT. DM her right now on Instagram, WhatsApp, and on Facebook Messenger at Ray the AI, RAETHEAI. Go check her out. And make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all the above. And I'll see you in the next one. A peace.